Hey guys, how's it going? Your boy MKS here, back with part two of people at P.O.C, people of colour for South Africa. I hope people out there enjoy it. In my quest to and my dreams and desires to support South Africa as a P.O.C, person of colour, and anti-imperialist, I hope to encourage my fellow P.O.C and anti-imperialists and also anti-racist, I suppose, to support South Africa. So I hope people out there enjoy it and my mad thoughts. This is sort of I suppose this channel is sort of a window into my mad and neurodiverse creativity, or special needs or learning disabled creativity. Yeah, the last video I lost 2 subscribers, so I hope I didn't offend anyone, but maybe I just bored them, I don't know. But I would love to have as many subscribers as possible, of course, to be honest, and I definitely hope people from across Africa, Asia, and around the world, especially people from Malaysia, India, Indonesia, South Africa itself, of course, and Singapore. I hope as many of them will subscribe to this channel as possible and like these videos, and especially support this video, because if I get to monetize, it'll actually come back to them because I will support them in return. So if you're from any of those nations, I think it's definitely worth you to support this channel. But I mean, obviously I welcome, I say obviously, but I welcome any subscribers and viewers and that kind of thing in the safest possible way. But I definitely hope, I think if I got subscribers from those nations alone, I think I would have enough to make a really successful channel. But again, anyone who, also people who support those nations, people of colour, neurodiverse people, people who like mad, creative, weird, strange guys like myself, I think it'd be cool if you subscribe. But yeah, as I say, I welcome all subscribers and viewers and that kind of thing. I hope in time for all fans, Celtic fans as well, and that kind of thing will subscribe, as I often say. Especially as August is my birth month, so I was hoping I wouldn't lose subscribers, but would actually gain subscribers. I was hoping I would get as many subscribers as possible. I'm hoping on or by my birthday, at least on my birthday, if not by it, I'll have as many subs. If I'm really dreaming, I'd love to have millions or even billions of subscribers, and then I'll be able to change the world for the better, and I suppose for my ego as well. It'd be pretty cool. But anyway, sorry if the intro went on a bit long. Here are some of my dreams for supporting South Africa, my quirky ideas. And if you have any ideas that you think you can add to my ideas, or that are better than my ideas, probably not saying much, but I do my best. But if you can think of any ideas that you would say are better, please, and probably in better English, please post them in the comments, even in the live chat, or even the comments afterwards, as you like. And here goes. So number 11, I'd love to for people to discuss what you would like to change about South Africa, or especially people from South Africa itself, or people who have been to the nation, what they think that South Africa needs to change to improve its nation. Like a lot of people, I think, try and go for quick profits. So I think they do say South Africa has a lot of crime, unfortunately, but I think if people thought, if we make an honest living that could last longer, maybe that's my idealism, I'll say. But also, I'd love to raise the profile of South African entrepreneurs and projects and social media creators, influencers, content creators, and that kind of thing, as much as possible. I'll probably mention that point. I'm very repetitive, but as I say, I'd love to see what South Africa could change, what they can improve upon, how they can invite more investors, basically become more attractive to investors. And if you're a person of colour, would you be interested in supporting South Africa, investing in or even donating to the nation, and that kind of thing. I do like to make these 4-part videos, so I was hoping to get them done today, which I might be on schedule, but I hope people out there, as I say, do enjoy them. Number 12, what does South Africa do well? What should they keep doing because they do it well? I'd also love to encourage mentors to go and teach people in South Africa what they know, any skills, pass on any knowledge. Again, I know I did kind of cover that in part 1, but specifically like mentors, I like that term, mentors, for some reason, but I probably don't really 100% know what a mentor consists of. But if people out there are mentors and have their own businesses and are business consultants or whatever, what are the differences, and have skills that you can pass on to people in South Africa, I would love to read your comments, and hopefully this video will inspire people to go out and support South Africa, especially people of colour and anti-racist, anti-imperialists, and that kind of thing, including my fellow mutts, and also other people of colour, black, Asian, mixed race, well, Native Americans even, perhaps, and maybe even Latinos or Hispanics. Again, I know I mentioned that point before, but yeah, it'd be great to see as many of them as possible. Or again, even anti-racists, anti-imperialists, those who are against apartheid, and the history, and those who want to make up for it. It'd be great to see them support South Africa. And again, I'd love to know what South Africa does well, and what they should keep doing. Number 13, again, I know there are some negative things about South Africa. I know it does have a lot of crime. It does have a reputation for having crime, power outages, and things like that, and that kind of thing. I think it's important to address those issues. Number 14, in addressing them, I hope they'll solve those problems. And again, I think as people of colour, it's important for us to show what we can do, and hopefully, dare I say, shove 2 fingers to the haters and that kind of thing, so to speak. Number 15, I hope to help the nation, all 5 nations, Malaysia, India, Indonesia, South Africa, and Singapore, to help each other and I hope to encourage them to help each other to reach their full potential. I suppose the reason why I chose these 5 nations is because of the fact that they were colonized, and due to like Malaysia, India, Indonesians, Singapore, the 4 Asian nations having large Eurasian populations which they've looked after, and also the fact that apartheid, I think, looks down on anyone who's a person of colour. So I think people of colour should support South Africa. On Mondays, Mixed Race Mondays, I hope to share these videos from both my Facebook and YouTube with mixed race groups. Also, I would love to hear from South Africans about what your ambitions are. I'd love to help South Africans and people from those other nations I mentioned reach your full potential. Help you to have your work on your ambitions. I'd love to help South Africans, whether their ambitions are to become business people, doctors, nurses, solicitors, or whatever other field they want to get into. Business people, as I say, I probably won't mention that one. Or even politicians or whatever. It'd be great to hear from South Africans what your ambitions are. I hope to encourage South Africans to make your own videos about like what your ambitions are individually, and also for the nation itself. And I hope maybe in the future even I'd love to connect with South African politicians about listening to what their ambitions are for the nation, and how even rival politicians can work together for the good of the nation, all possible South Africans working for the good of the nation, or even the region, Southern Africa, but especially South Africa itself. Number 16, I'd love for there to be committees or think tanks, networks, cooperatives, and that kind of thing, which discuss what is in the best interest of South Africa, what are the best things that could empower South Africa as much as possible. Again, supporting South African media influencers, social media influencers, content creators, and business people, entrepreneurs, whatever the difference is, helping to raise their profile and all sorts of things like that. Number 17, I'd love to see things that are made and see and hear about things that are made in South Africa. Again, if anyone knows any projects or anything that's going on in South Africa, or any black empowerment projects or projects that empower people generally in South Africa, I'd love to read any or see any links of such, like African game makers, Africans involved in tech, game making, let's say video technology, that sort of thing. But yeah, just generally creative stuff from South Africa and what South Africans have created, what's made in South Africa, like brand South Africa. I'd love to promote that sort of thing. And black people in tech maybe could work together, and they could host events like black people in tech around the world coming to South Africa, working with other African nations, also getting support from Asian nations like South Koreans, Japanese people, Indians, Chinese people, and whatnot, working with the BRICS and this other network, this network that I was talking about, the MIISAS, and even people of colour around the world generally, like people from Africa and Asia, and also around the world generally, of African descent, Asian descent, and whatnot. Basically, I would say black, Asian, mixed race, maybe even Native American, possibly even Latino and Hispanic, and maybe even Jewish people around the world who can teach about tech and STEM generally, and help them to make things and create things. And as I said, I think it'd be great to see things that are made in Africa generally, but including South Africa and these 5 nations, the MIISAS. 18, I hope to hear positive things from South Africa, positive things about South Africa, and hopefully good news stories from South Africa and things like that, about other projects that promote racial harmony, unity, cooperation, peace, love, all sorts of positive and good things and that kind of thing. 19, also supporting, as I say, African software developers, including in South Africa, and maybe they could invite other people from across the continent and around the world, including from Asia. They could be part of like African and Asian partnerships where they have people going into South Africa and teaching them about software development and that kind of thing. And also number 20, STEM. I'd say I'd love to read anyone's ideas and comments about suggestions about how South Africa could host these events possibly on Zoom, possibly in person. If you have any ideas of your own or any ways you could help, I'd love to read them in the comments. And I'm out. Peace out.